Here's how they line up then. Louis Sharp did the business in qualifying. Double pole for him this weekend, alongside a man who had his best qualifying of the year, Deegan Fairclough, third in the championship. Jimmy Pazik next from Will McIntyre. Row 3, the aforementioned Freddie Slater, and Akil Alibi doing well to get into the top 6. Gustav Johnson, the rookie championship leader, with his arch rival Gabe Stilp alongside. Those two are going to be battling hard throughout the weekend. Then it's Kanato Lee and Pat Hoytsenroder. James Higgins on row 6, Mika Abrahams on his outside. They're followed by Noah Lyle and Kai Darianani, Jack Sherwood and Josh Irfan on row 8. Row 9, Dowie Dedeka and Isaac Garashi. So those of you who maybe tick off the drivers in the championship or look at the championship points as we come into this might be wondering where the 4th place man in the championship is, Dion Gowder. And Phil, the news not good for Dion. He's on a one-race ban because he got points on his licence for various things happening throughout the year.
Yeah.
Sounds like a negative, but we were talking about this in the paddock earlier on. It's great that a driver can have a one-race ban and then concentrate on the rest of the meeting rather than, say, issue him with a month's ban. And
it was actually used to be a 3-month ban.
3 months,
if you totted up points, a bit like you do on your road licence, and you get 12 points, you end up getting usually getting a 3-month ban, which has always been a rule as part of the MSA. But now it's you can argue it and you can talk through the issues that you've had in the year and almost kind of negotiate, if you like, to try and get it down to a one-race ban, which I think is so much better because, like you just said, it means that they can carry on with the race weekend and they don't lose too much time because they're juniors, they're kids, they're
exactly.
learning.
I mean, most of these drivers haven't got a driving licence, have they?
No, exactly.
They're below 17. Will McIntyre, apparently his PR that came through in the week said first thing Will wants to do after the championship's over is do his theory and go and learn to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't realise you do when you're looking at these guys.
But they're so young and it punishes them. It's like making a mistake at school and sending you home.
Expelling you when you need to be at school learning
how to make it better.
I'm not sure Jamie Caroline would agree with that one, but anyway.
He's here again, looking after Louis.
Yep, and Jamie and myself, as you'll know, viewers will know, we're coached by Oxford County School down Maths, so if we get it wrong, blame Oxford. Mr. Adamson, our dear old maths teacher, he was a great lad, actually, to be fair. So anyway, back to the plot. Louis Sharp and Deegan Fairclough, best qualifying for Deegan. Stephen Hunter was telling me he had a plan to get Deegan's head round quali. It clearly worked. This is his best of the year. Third in the championship. If he'd qualied better throughout the season, this might have been the battle for the title, Phil.
I agree. I think he could have done an amazing job, but let's see what he can do in this race.
The anti-penultimate race of the year is underway. We've got a staller on the inside of row 3 trying to get away. Always a heart-stopping moment for everyone, but thankfully everybody has got through. So that was 5th on the grid. I think that was Freddie Slater, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And it would have been heart-stopping for him and his family and indeed everybody here at the venue, but away. And it's Sharp that's made a superb start. I thought Deegan Fairclough was going to beat him away.
Yeah, Fairclough did get a good start as well, but because you're on the outside, it's much harder to get going. But there we go. We've got further back. Pazik is in third, and McIntyre going for the inside. Dive down the inside. Great move from McIntyre. It's his teammate in the high-tech car, so he's got up to third. He needs to try and chase down to see if he can get on terms with Louis Sharp to keep this championship alive.
Absolutely right. So early doors, he makes that move, gets himself up into P3. Vital championship points needed. Remember the format of the F4 weekend. 2 fastest off the front races and a totally reverse grid. It might be the last time we see that. Some work going on a little bit further back. We've got Jack Sherwood there in the 78,
and
29
Abrahams.
car. Yeah, Mika Abrahams, who was on double pole last time we saw these cars, Phil. August, the end of August. They've had a huge break, haven't they?
Oh, and is that Alibi that's got a broken front wing there? He's dropping further back and he's causing an absolute train behind. So yeah, that's a front wing gone there. Is it Alibi that's lost it?
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. So he's going to have to come in the
straight
pits.
into the pits, yeah. Akil realised that. Had a chat with Akil this morning about what might be in store for next year. He's actually commuting from South Africa at the moment, comes over a few days before each meeting rather than being based in England, which was proving problematic, I think, for them. So we've got to see what he does next year.
We've got one race at the front, and then we've got this race led by Kanato Lee, who's obviously they all got held up by Alibi having that wing issue. But look at that, what a battle that looks like. You've got Kanato Lee, you've got Hoytsenroder, Higgins, Lyle, Daianani, Sherwood. What a battle for 6th place.
It is incredible, isn't it? We've got Stilp down in 17th, so he was obviously involved in something going on earlier on, and Johnson in 5th place. Stilp is actually ahead in the overall championship of Johnson, but Johnson leads the rookies perversely.
Yeah, it's weird.
Strange scenario, yeah, but it's based on the rookies in their own races just the rookies score the points for their own championship rather than being where they are overall. But both drivers can be pleased with what they've done so far this year. Sharp sets the fastest lap as well. Bonus point potentially from the young Kiwi for the Motol fastest lap, 1 minute 30.269. That's the first lap, isn't it? So off the start, that's going to be the flying lap's going to be different for sure. Fairclough 9/10 down, but I'm not going to discount Deegan Fairclough at all in second position, but he's going to have his eyes on Will McIntyre, who will want to get up with and have a straight race with Sharp. But as they complete the first flying lap, Phil, I don't think that's going to happen. They're well spaced out.
They certainly are. Sharp has put in some amazing laps there just to try and get away from Fairclough, but a 25.1 with Fairclough on a 25.4.
Darian Arney's off. Darian Arney in the gravel. That's a shame. That's going to be our first safety car.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Weekend.
Is that coming into the last corner?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
a lovely place to watch there.
But yeah, safety car, you're absolutely right. They had to get the safety car. It's a little bit late. They can't quite get the leaders, so they're going to pick up 6th place, which is the Kanata lead battle, which is going to cause an issue. They're going to have to let them through, and then he's going to have to try and pick up the leaders again. Yeah,
good stuff from the safety car team, realising that. And, you know, when you get scrambled, you get scrambled. It may or may not be when the race leaders come through. And Kieran Salmons, you saw waving them through with Scott Stringfellow at the wheel. Kai Darianani, a bit of a shame for Kai to go off an early exit from race 1. We've got another 2 races tomorrow, as we said. Not great for Sharp. Fairclough gets the second bite of the cherry. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, we'll see for that. Oh, Slate's gone down the inside, and then there's a little bit of contact, and yeah, he's just off in the gravel, and he's obviously going to be beached. But yeah, that was obviously Slater coming back after his he stalled on the start. He's already up to 13th position, so he's back in this race.
As you can see,
there's
2 laps.
Yeah, you can see, just didn't get away, or came off that clutch a little bit too quick, and they are easy to stall. I remember Alex Dunn actually had a lot of problems with getting these off the line last year. But yeah, everyone did an amazing job there not to get caught up in an incident. There's someone else further back as well, it looked like it stalled. But yeah,
she wasn't at the back, was having a problem. Good marshalling there as well. You saw there was a sea of yellow flags, wasn't there, for the drivers to see? But yeah, great stuff from reaction from all the drivers to manage to avoid him.
Not ideal for Louis Sharp, who had an amazing lead there. Got a great first couple of laps under his belt. That's now brought Fairclough and McIntyre back into this. But also importantly, Kanato Lee, who was further back in P6, is now on to Johnson. So that's going to make things a lot more exciting.
All 3 championships are up for grabs, and by 3, of course, the overall most important one, the team's championship, is still up for grabs as well. 27 points separating Carlin and High Tech at the moment. It's the top 2 drivers for each team that score the points towards that, so that might take a little bit more working out for me as we go through over the course of the 3 races that we've got. The other championship, the rookie championship, which is 20 points separating Johnson and Stilp. So at the moment, Stilp is down 4th in class at the minute. Yep. So he will score points, but Johnson will get a few more. So he'll get another 13 points in his lead over. So it'll go out to 33 points. But I think we can expect Stilp, if he hasn't got a mechanical problem, to possibly get ahead of. He's got De Decker to try and get ahead of, and also Barashi. Did Alibi get back out? He's showing us 3 laps. Stilp's only completed 2 laps, so it looks like Stilp's had a problem somewhere as well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, I saw him further down, but I'm not sure what happened. They could get this going again, but it looks like they're probably going to have to do another lap unless the lights go out down this straight. But no, they're not. They're going to do 1 more lap, and then we'll be underway once again, because it looks like they've got Darian Arney's car out the way now.
So our director telling us Stilp actually had a tyre change, so came into pit lane and managed to get out again. So it's good that he's back out on track, but he's going to be adrift, which is not so good. Sharp will take all this in his stride. I've got to say, Louis Sharp looks very relaxed. We were, obviously F4 weren't with us at Silverstone last time out, but Louis and his dad were. They came up. I think James Higgins was there as well. None of the other F4 lads. I'm not criticising people for not going, but it is lovely to see them on weekends wanting to be a part of the paddock that they're going to rejoin later on in the year. It's good sportsmanship, I think, from them, and was actually chatting to Louis and his dad about maybe coming to the Formula Ford Festival, which is here in a couple of weeks. The New Zealand champion hopefully will be coming over to contest that, and they were expressing an interest in coming and supporting them as well. That should be good to see. But they're really enthusiasts about the racing, aren't they? And
they are, yeah.
Isn't it a shame that Rodin Carlin have been turned down by F1?
It is, yeah, and High Tech as well.
And High Tech, yeah.
Yeah, it's Andretti that looks like they're going to get the entry, the 11th entry into Formula One. But yeah, I'm sure they'll keep trying. You never know. And yeah, I know Rodin were trying to, give a big push for females into Formula One as well. So
yeah,
it's not going to happen yet. But there's lots of stuff going on, especially with F1 Academy.
Keep trying. Yeah, keep trying.
Obviously, the F1 Academy brings a lot of female racers in front of the right people. So let's see how that develops over the next year or so. But yeah, going back to Sharp, he's actually had to go in a GB3 recently as well.
Okay.
So that was he went well. He went at a race, a test at Donington, and was quick. So now safety car is coming in. Lights are out. Louis Sharp is going to start backing them up. He's keeping the tyres warm, as you can see, with plenty of weaving. But it's all about when do you go? Does he go as he goes through the corner? It looks like he's still going to wait a little bit longer. Just going to try and catch Fairclough out.
Oh, it's a cat and mouse between these two, isn't it? And Deegan knows what he's doing here. He's only his first season of single-seater racing, having come up through the Fiesta Juniors. Decent restart, wasn't it? Good stuff there by Louis Sharp.
Yeah, he was. He caught him out, and also Fairclough was under pressure coming into the last corner by McIntyre, but he's managed to have a good run through the last corner. Dropped McIntyre a little bit, so he can't lunge going into the first corner. You can see Lyle's having a good race back up into 8th here, so he's looking racy. He's got Hodgson Road in front of him, trying to get down the inside into the hairpin, but no, just thinks better of it. You got Higgins there as well. Very close racing as they come through Druids.
Yeah, one thing about a safety car, it does put them all back into line and closer up to get a second bite. Good for Freddie Slater, who might be able to make up a few positions. We've got Jack Sherwood looking to try and come through as well there. But Sharp still out front. What's the gap going to be at the end? Is he just going to check out again? He's looking comfortable out front. I thought Deegan would be closer. I mean, Jack Sharp giving him a good car. And I know he was really happy with qualifying. I hope Fairclough and ROKiT can sort something out. Maybe ROKiT will get him back for next year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm hoping they'll do something, because they've given this big prize, and as you can see, it's worked. This whole competition worked. He's shown how good it is. He's done a good job. He's been super fast, but actually he's catching a little bit now, isn't he? He's started to catch Sharp a little bit on this lap, I feel. He's definitely closer as they're coming into the last corner, and he's pulled away from McIntyre very, very slightly. So let's see if he can put a bit of pressure on Louis Sharp.
Let's see indeed. Here we go across the line they go again with just under 10 minutes of this race going to half distance. We've lost a little bit down to the safety car, but Fairclough, he's had 2 reverse grid race wins. He would love, and the team would love him to get a fastest off the front win if he can do it, and Sharp will not want to be passed. Equally, I mean, he hasn't got a points lead that he can sit back on, so he needs every single point that he can get over the 3 races, the Kiwi out front. But black is certainly the colour to have, isn't it, from those 2 lead cars at the moment. McIntyre still in 3rd. And remember, this is Will McIntyre's first season in single-seaters as well. Runner-up in his first season in Ginetta Junior last year, and was impressive around here. He won't want to be second in the championship. I know he was a little bit fed up with being rookie champion in Ginetta Juniors. He wanted to be outright champion. That's the right racing mentality, to be absolutely fair, but he has had a very, very good season, and a lot of drivers will say that it should maybe be a 2-year programme. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of drivers do it that way, but it is all a bit fast track. Oh, someone's gone wide. Fairclough goes very wide as he comes through Sheen. So that is his battle on Louis Sharp gone, but he's done well to collect that up. That was a big slide.
Yeah, massive moment for Fairclough, and we know he's a great peddler. He was in karts. There has been a lot made of the fact that he won this drive through the sim racing competition, which is absolutely right that ROKiT did. We'll come back to that. Have a look at the replay.
Luckily it's dry in a minute. There's quite a bit of grip out there. He's carried too much speed. He's probably hit too much of the curb, but I'm amazed at how little time he actually lost, because that was a big chance for McIntyre to get a run on him.
It was, so the impetus of the race may change. And going back to the ROKiT car, you can see there the leader of the 2 cars that we can see in frame at the moment, or the second one now, coming through that sim racing competition, which, now the thing with sim racing is, if you haven't done proper racing in cars, it's a huge leap, and it was for Deegan to come from Fiesta Junior Championship. But the thing with winning a sim racing competition with 1,000 competitors in it, which it had, that is all equal machinery. There's no advantage for throwing tyres at testing and everything else, is there? So it was all down that sort of competition to ability, and he beat 1,000 people to that. He's talking to his mum this morning, and she said, yeah, Deegan wanted to go back single-seaters. He said, I'm going to win that competition and get in, and he did.
That's it. That's determination. That is impressive. For what he's done, like you said, doing a bit of Fiesta Juniors, then sim driving, he's definitely been the one to watch all season coming into F4. So, yeah, shame he had a little moment, but, you know, it's expected with someone who's so new to it. But McIntyre is with him, but lap times, obviously he did lose. He lost 9/10 on that last lap with that big moment. So he's now, he's only 3/10 slower than Sharp on that lap. So he's lost a bit of time, but I think second is still pretty safe for Fairclough at the minute.
Somebody look at the team points. So we've got Carlin leading, we've got JHR second, McIntyre for High-Tech next up. Jimmy Pazik is High-Tech pole. So High-Tech are going to score well here, Phil.
Yeah.
The other runners from Roding Carlin a little bit further back, so they're going to be struggling for points. Lyle gets a couple of points, and that's it. So Lyle's going to pick up 2, so it's going to be 27 points in the team championship, and High-Tech might have an opportunity here to just pull a few back, and we might have a Teams Cup going to the last race.
Yeah, let's see what happens. If we can make all of it go to the final race of the season, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Apart from me having to do the maths.
Yeah, because you know I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, something about co-coms. Jamie didn't want to do it earlier in the year either. There's the rookie standings as we see them, which is quite helpful. 35 points will be the run. Gabe will still head Gustav Johnson in the overall, as we said earlier on in the race. So that's still to play for. Team still to play for in the overall championship, and it could all go belly up. Remember, race 2 totally reversed. Now Sharp with double pole has got to start race 2 right at the back of the grid. And then it's reduced points for the win, but you get points for places gained from your starting position. So he's going to have to work real hard on that. Yeah,
that could change it all up, ready for the final race, couldn't it? If Sharp doesn't have a good reverse grid race, it could make it very different, a different story for McIntyre. But as we can see, he's still trying to make a move on Irfan.
He's a lap down though, isn't he? So
yeah,
he's trying to unlap himself, so it's not going to be for points. But you know, Stilt will use this as a little bit of a testing exercise as much as anything else. He's the middle car there in the number 7. I'm busy chasing Irfan, who is one of the rookies as well. Irfan, I think 4th in the rookie championship behind Dower de Decker. And we've got Barashi will start on pole position for the reverse grid race, which will be in our live programme tomorrow. So both of the concluding F4 races will be in the main programme tomorrow, so you won't have to join us. We have got earlier coverage away from the main programme on our YouTube channel, so if you want to watch I think there's a Porsche race and also the second mini race of the weekend, they should be available for you to watch separately.
Sherwood's looking racy in this race. He's all over the back of Lyle at the minute. Lyle is he's using every bit of the circuit at the minute. I've just seen him running right up to the white line, so he just needs to be careful not to drop a wheel because he's on the limit there. But yeah, Sherwood is chasing him hard. Let's see if he can make some more moves before the end of the race.
A couple of the drivers were saying that final corner before you come down here, the left-hander at Sterling's, I bet there's been some work on the exit done.
Yeah,
it's made things a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a lot worse at the exit of that corner. The curb was quite aggressive, so you couldn't use it at all. But now it's a lot smoother. But I don't know if they've done some more work recently. But a few weeks ago, it was actually quite a good exit curb. Yeah, they've tried to clean them up quite a lot more than how they used to be. But I remember coming here recently and they'd painted them all for some filming that they've been doing, looking a bit like Monza. So you had the yellow, the green, white and red curbs like you do at Monza, but they must have been doing some filming because obviously they filmed the Rush film here all those years ago. Yeah. So something's been going on over the last few weeks. But as you can see, the Decker there all over the back of Barashi. So let's see if the Decker can get a move done with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, this is for 3rd in the rookie cup, isn't it? In terms of the class, and Dowie de Decker has been quite a good little character, isn't he, Dowie? He's loved, and we would hope that some of the rookies will come back and do that second year, particularly those that maybe haven't done as much testing, and you do see them move up. We've seen Louis Sharp move up this year and do the business. Let's have a look at lap times as well. Right, what's the lap record? Joseph Lope's lap record, 1:24.409. So Sharp not quite on the pace of Joseph Lope at the moment, his lap record. I don't think we're going to see any other records broken in terms of biggest win or shortest win or anything else. The most starts for drivers here.
Fairclough's actually just done a 24/7 as you were talking there, so he's getting closer. But it's very difficult this time of year. Obviously, the last race of the year, it's normally a lot colder, which makes the car, and wet normally. But if it's dry and it's colder, the cars run a lot better. They go a lot quicker. And obviously, the tyres don't overheat. The engine runs better in the cool temperatures, so you see lap times a lot quicker. But now it's so hot, which is unusual for October. The lap times maybe won't be as quick as we'd expect.
Yeah, it is very, very unusual. I'm working here in a couple of weeks' time, actually, outdoors, so I can guarantee it'll be raining then.
Typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we just saw Freddie Slater all over the back of Abrahams there.
He's nearly got to the points, isn't he, Freddie?
He has, yeah. He's pushing hard. He obviously caught him quite a lot through Surtees. He's had a little bit of understeer on the exit, couldn't quite get the front to stick, but now catching back up again as Abrahams is on the back of his teammate Higgins. So the Fortec guys have got a double R car behind him, chasing them hard.
Yep, the lone double R car. The other lone car team is of course JHR this weekend. We lost Sonny Smith earlier on in the season, which was a little bit of a shame. Just looking at the qualifying stats as we get to the end of the race, the only driver to beat his teammate in every qualifying session is Akil Alabai. That's a stat he probably doesn't know, or he probably does actually, but that's a good stat to have because you always look to your teammate first, don't you?
Yeah, well obviously that's the same car that you're in, so you always do look at that, but obviously with a one-make series it is a little bit different because they all should be identical, but all teams run their cars very differently and set them up very differently. So it's how the drivers and teams can work together to get the best package. And at the minute, it looks like Louis Sharp has done that today with Carlin. So final lap, he's got a good lead. All he's got to do is get through the GP section of the circuit, and he's got another win under his belt.
Yeah, and another 10 points here potentially to take forward into race 2, where we definitely do need the calculator out. But Louis Sharp, who led the championship early doors, had a little bit of a blip, didn't he? It was Silverstone, wasn't it? The away day from the touring car package, where Will McIntyre had been very, very consistent indeed. Remember, McIntyre's had 8 second places, 2 wins, 8 seconds and 2/3, but Sharp's had 5 wins. He's the one that's taken the most wins and about to convert that into 6 here, and add another 10 points onto the championship lead. And he's responded very well to that mid-season pressure, and he's responded well in this meeting by getting pole position, not fastest lap, but there is the win in round 28 for Louis Sharp, the Kiwi, with Deegan Fairclough in second position. Will McIntyre keeps the championship alive in third. Jimmy Pazik fourth. Gustav Johnson takes rookie honours today and finishes 5th overall ahead of Kanato Lee, and Pat Hoytsrode the 7th from Noah Lyle in 8th.
That was another fastest lap from Fairclough on the last lap, another 24/7. So if he hadn't made that mistake early on in the race, I think he would have had a chance at going for the lead over Sharp there. So yeah, let's see if Fairclough can keep this pace up all weekend. They
renew battle, don't they, in race 3, which is based on the fastest lap time from qualifying. We'll see Sharp and Fairclough together on the front row of the grid once again. But a nice, just the one safety car. It's the only safety car we've had all day. We actually had a mini race without a safety car earlier on, which was great. That sounds right. It was a cracking race. It was a good race with current champion and reigning champion and one former champion in the minis as well. But there is Louis been very calm. I'm not sure how much emotion he's going to allow himself as he gets out of the car here for the first time of the weekend. He was fairly cool about pole position, and so double pole. Yeah, that's all right. That's what we like to see. His dad Jason will be chuffed. I'm not sure where Jason's watching from. I did say, what do you do? And he said, I basically pace up and down, and as dads do. Nice camaraderie there.
Absolutely, yeah. They all get on pretty well, unless obviously they crash into each other, which obviously then they don't get on so well.
Yeah, it's been a good paddock this year. You know, Pippa, who's been looking after the PR, set things up for us very early on with the day that we had Bicester at Motorsport UK headquarters, and we got to meet the drivers. That was fantastic, and it's just rolled really well getting to know the drivers since then. Result of round 28, the ROKiT F4 British Championship. Louis Sharp takes another win, extends the championship lead. Deegan Fairclough, good second place, ahead of the High-Tech Pulse 8 duo, scoring well for the team in the Teams Cup. Will McIntyre third and Jimmy Pezik fourth. Gustav Johnson fifth is the top rookie. Kanato Lee in sixth place ahead of Pat Hoytsenroder, and then Noah Lyle, Jack Sherwood ninth and James Higgins in 10th. Mika Abrahams came home 11th ahead of Freddie Slater. Those guys just out of the points, but ahead of second man in the rookies, Josh Irfan and Akil Alabai 14th. The rookie podium completed by Isaac Barashi. 16th goes to Dowie Dedeka. Gabe Stilp after the tyre change is a lap down and a retirement for Kai Darianani. Championship standings. The lead now out to 13 championship points. A better lead for Louis Sharp, but by no means is this over. Will McIntyre second, Deegan Fairclough in third, extends his lead over fourth place man Dion Gowder. James Higgins fifth from Jimmy Pezik and Kanato Lee. Eighth is Noah Lyle, ninth Akil Alabai and 10th Gabe Still. In the rookies, a 35-point lead now for Gustav Johnson over Gabe Still. Josh Irfan next up from Dower Dedeka, Isaac Barashi and Matteo De Paolo.